If you enjoy the stories I share, I'd be incredibly grateful if you'd subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps me going and helps bring more stories like this to life. Now, let's begin today's story. I was in the bathroom, brushing my teeth, when I heard my daughter's voice drifting from the living room. She was reading something out loud, her tone cheerful, like she was reciting a bedtime story. I can't wait to feel your hands on me again. Last night was amazing. When is your wife leaving the house next? My heart plummeted. I froze mid-motion, toothbrush still lodged between my teeth, foam gathering in my mouth. For a moment, it felt like the entire room spun sideways. I spat, wiped my mouth in a rush, and bolted to the living room. There stood Emma, our 9-year-old daughter, barefoot on the rug, clutching my phone as if it were one of her storybooks, wide-eyed and innocent. Beside her, leaning against the wall with arms folded and an unreadable expression, was Nathan, my husband. He didn't say a single word. My phone buzzed in Emma's hand. Another message from Evan. Another message I hadn't bothered to erase. That was the exact moment I understood Nathan wasn't going to yell. He wasn't going to throw accusations or demand explanations. No, he was going to dismantle me slowly, deliberately, and with a chilling kind of composure. But I should rewind, go back to where it really began. Before Evan, before I let my marriage decay beneath the surface while I pretended everything was fine. Nathan and I had been married for 12 years. We met in college, moved in together after graduating, and by 30, we had Emma. In the early years, our life was solid, really solid. Nathan was dependable, thoughtful, and intelligent in a quiet way. He wasn't one for grand romantic gestures, but his loyalty was unwavering. He just expressed love in subtler ways. I, however, longed for something different. Passion, spontaneity, surprise weekend getaways, and deep, late-night talks that made my heart race. Over time, especially after Emma was born, I began to feel invisible. It wasn't that I stopped loving Nathan. I stopped feeling connected to us. The routine dulled everything. His evenings disappeared into spreadsheets and timelines while I sat across from him, eating silent meals in front of the TV, and pretending it didn't bother me. I convinced myself I was still being a good wife. I kept up with the housework, smiled at school meetings, and pretended to be asleep when he reached for me at night. Then Evan showed up. He was a new guy at work, charismatic, smooth, and effortlessly confident. The way he looked at me made me feel seen, alive, important. The first time he flirted, I brushed it off with a laugh. The second time, I didn't. His first message wasn't even inappropriate, just a compliment. But from there, it spiraled quickly. Emotional at first, filled with inside jokes and playful banter. Then it turned physical. Once, then again, and before I knew it, we were in a full-blown affair. I justified it all in my head, telling myself that Nathan had stopped caring, that our marriage had turned into a roommate arrangement, that I deserved to feel desired again. And I didn't stop, not when Nathan's gaze lingered longer when I came home late, not when he gently asked, "Who's messaging you so late?" Or, "You seem distant. Is everything okay?" I kept lying. Then came the night his phone died, and he asked to borrow mine. I hesitated. He noticed, but I handed it over anyway. He didn't say a single word. Not that night. I thought maybe, just maybe, I dodged it, that he didn't open anything. Or maybe he chose not to. I was wrong. He had opened everything. And then he waited. He waited days. Until a quiet Sunday afternoon, when I went to shower and left my phone on the coffee table. That's when he saw the new message. He gave my phone to Emma and told her to read the messages out loud to him like it was a bedtime story. She thought it was a joke, a silly game. She had no idea what she was reading. By the time I came rushing into the living room, it was too late. The damage had already been done. "Nathan," I gasped, "give me the phone." He took it gently from Emma's hand and passed it to me without meeting my eyes. Then he leaned down, kissed her forehead, and told her to go draw something in her room. I stood there, shaking. "How long?" he asked softly. "Nathan." "How long, Madison?" he repeated calmly. I stared at the floor. Almost 6 months. No reaction, no anger, just a devastating stillness. With Evan, I nodded. Yes. Still no shouting, no insults, just silence, stretched tight like a wire about to snap. Do you love him? He asked at last. No, I don't even know why I did it. But that was a lie. I did know. I just didn't want to admit how selfish and shallow it would sound. He nodded slowly, like he'd expected that. You have 1 week to tell Emma the truth, he said. Or I will. I cracked. You wouldn't. Nathan, she's only 9. She wouldn't understand. She understand betrayal, he cut in. She just watched her mother panic over a message from another man. Don't fool yourself. She feels what's happening, even if she can't explain it. That week was torment. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't even look at my own reflection without flinching. I tried to think of ways to explain it to Emma without revealing everything. But Nathan wasn't bluffing. Exactly 1 week later, he sat her down. He told her that Mommy had made a mistake that hurt our family, and that we were a little apart for a while so everyone could start healing. He didn't say a fair. But Emma's eyes said she understood enough. She wouldn't look at me for 2 days. Nathan moved in with his brother. We arranged joint custody, though I could tell he didn't fully trust me with her. He checked and often coordinated drop-offs and pickups like he was organizing a high-stakes exchange. The hardest part wasn't even the divorce papers that came a month later. It was the drawings. Emma started sketching pictures with just 2 figures. Or sometimes she'd draw Nathan and herself on one side of a wall, me on the other. One day, she left a drawing on my pillow. A little stick figure with a broken heart and tears falling down, with one word scribbled above it. Why? I sobbed for hours. I tried apologizing to Nathan again, not to win him back, but to show that I understood what I'd done, how deeply I had scarred him. He listened, quietly, but the warmth in his eyes was gone. Then one night, during a custody exchange, Emma clung to Nathan's leg and whispered, I don't want to go with Mommy. That shattered me completely. Nathan didn't say anything cruel. He didn't lecture me. He simply crouched next to her and said, We have to be fair, sweetheart. Mommy loves you too. And she came with me. But the silence in the car was unbearable.